brother. It's time for another episode of Birds with Friends. Just a trio of feathery brethren, weathering any season to see the Eagles eat teams like Scrammy's top with cheese. It's Philadelphia. Bo, Sheil, and Zach kicking it cooler than 3 penguins till Zach runs off with his valet keys. He's a real nuanced goose. Pull up a branch, get loose. It's time for some juice on some Birds with Friends. The early bird gets the worm, but prefers getting turned like a turn on some Birds with Friends. Bo, Sheil, and Zach coming at you with stats and things flapping.
We are going to rip out the hearts of other podcasts. We are going to bite off their eyeballs. We're going to start every segment watching the scene from The Last of the Mohicans where the guy takes a bite out of the other guy's heart. We may not be good, but we're going to be nasty. We're going to reflect the blue-collar nature of this city. That's right. It is kneecap week on Birds with Friends. Bo Wulf, Zach Berman, Sheil Kapadia, Marissa Morris here to preview Sunday's clash of the Titans between the 2-5 Eagles and the 0-7 Detroit Lions. Plenty to get to on the show today. We will do Bird on the Street to get the latest happenings from the Novacare complex. We will have Crow Thine Enemy from Sheil Kapadia. We'll have a little Bird in Edgewise, some of your questions. We'll have Swooper Soarcasting. So if you're in the live chat, make sure you give us some of those suggestions. And also if you're Sheil Kapadia and you haven't sent yours yet, make sure you send those to Marissa.
Thanks for the reminder.
And then we'll have Crystal Bald Eagle to close things out. Zach, you heard about this? You heard about this Facebook rebrand?
I did. Meta.
What is this? Ron Artest? Huh?
I see your point here.
Yeah.
I mean, their stock's up like 3% today, though, so it hasn't really affected it.
Thank you to everyone who's reached out
on
Instagram with the messages from the past show. You know, I don't know if I've been too harsh or not. I just feel like I've been crushing this team daily that's been my week. That's been the standout part of my week. And I just feel I think at the foundation of that is that I just feel like they're wasting everybody's time. Not necessarily my time, because at least, I'm get to CTC for, well, not this, but at least for the writing aspect of it. But, as we mentioned in the last show, they're making the fan experience very difficult this year, and it's not even Halloween. And so coming off of last year, I don't know. I think maybe that's what's grinded my gears a little bit. But listen, if you don't follow me, you still can at Sheil Kapadia on Instagram. A lot of people sending messages about the show when I post a little thing on the
asking you to post pictures of feet.
IG story. No, they have not done that. I do need to post some more photos, though. I think I don't know where you're going with that, Bo. Maybe some weekend activities or something going on with you. I'm not really sure, but we'll see what we talk about today. I mean, I don't know. The game doesn't have a lot of juice, although in some sense it doesn't have a lot of juice. But in another sense, man, if they lose this game, then we're talking about like rock bottom and where are they headed and
if you smell
big storylines. And so we can dig into that a little bit. I did want to get a lot of reader questions, listener questions on here because we haven't done that in a long time. I just want to know what the sickos actually care about at this point in the season.
So a real quick kind of on the scene thing from today.
Yeah.
And credit to another reporter here who has a little who's
wow, in sync smoothie sips there from Sheil and Marissa. Very impressive.
Who's a little more shameless than me. So I've done stories in the past where someone's tattoo comes up and it's usually not with cameras around, but you want to ask to see the tattoo, but it's always kind of like an odd thing to do, because so Avonte Maddox has a Lions tattoo. Okay. He's from Detroit. He got a Lions tattoo before he played football. And this is an interview in front of all the cameras. And another reporter, and credit to this reporter, was like, well, can we see it? And Afonte's like, well, I have to pull up my shirt here to show you it. But that when we talk about this game, there's a lot of Eagles-Lions connection. So I brought that up as kind of an entryway to saying Avonte Maddox returning home. He's going to have friends from high school there. We're going to have Darius Slay returning to Detroit. We have Deuce Staley on the other sideline. Dave Phipp. Well, I don't know if Dave Phipp's going to be on the other sideline. He tested positive for COVID. There's Halapoulivaati Vaitai.
Will he be replaced by Corey Undlin by chance?
Corey Unland is in San Francisco. Why would
That's
Corey
correct.
Unland-
However, the NFL Network tweeted a picture of Corey Unland in the story that Dave Phipp had tested positive for COVID. So
I was not aware
yeah,
of that.
that's a joke for 4 people.
Gotcha.
Which is what this podcast is all about.
But so
I'll
when
take
Sheil
the
says
under on that.
So when Sheil says this game lacks juice, right? I think that this game has a lot of Eagles-Lions connections. I always go into it saying, well, if this guy plays well, or if this happens.
Zach,
you get to manufacture
You grew up, you grew up as a sports fan. Now, you are a bad example. All right, fine. Not you. But I would say the average sports fan, when their team is playing like this and they're so frustrated with this, I don't know how much they care that Avonte Maddox is going. With all due respect, Avonte Maddox has played well now, by the way. Avonte Maddox is, maybe playing the best football of his career. I've always found him to be a good teammate. I could see why coaches would really like him. But I don't know that that's, I always picture like the Friday night before a big game, whether it was like a college game or an NFL game where you're just kind of hanging out with friends or family and you're talking about the upcoming games. You know what I'm talking about. That was fun. Sure. It was like the buzz. And, usually a lot of times, at least when I was at those stages, like the Eagles were playing well and there was the excitement around it. I don't know that Avonte Maddox's homecoming is going to come up often in those conversations, but I could be wrong. I get it from a reporter angle. I'm saying for even the sickos, I don't know that that's at top of mind.
Well, my point is, if say Avonte Maddox comes through with a big game, right? You have this color, these nuggets about the game.
Yeah, it doesn't add to the juice.
It's an old school mentality. That's a newspaper mentality.
Well, guilty as charged. Then I like storylines. I like narratives. So yeah, I enjoy that.
I think the Deuce one is the most interesting of the ones you said because of kind of what we got into in the last episode. So that one I think is not just a one weekend type thing. That's sort of a big picture and people looking back at, I don't know. I don't know that he should have been hired as the head coach, but I'm sure some people think he should have been. They didn't go in that direction. The Sun thing we made fun of last show. So I would say of the ones you mentioned, that one is probably the most interesting to me.
I was going to go with Andre Chachere going up against his former team. Andre Chachere.
Go ahead. Go ahead,
what?
Bo.
Just Chachere, amor. Okay. Last weekend in Las Vegas, they have the Raiderettes, and their tagline for the Raiderettes, very bizarre.
Oh, God.
It was the only thing I wrote down in my notebook.
Put us on delay,
It was the
please.
only thing I wrote down in my notebook pregame. Football's fabulous females.
That's what's really bizarre.
I would agree that's bizarre.
Very bizarre. So shout out to Dan McQuaid in the chat who says this week the Eagles are going up against football's fabulous felines.
Reader. All right.
Let's add that to the soundboard.
All right.
Okay. Why don't we take our time now to move out from the studio and send it live over to the NovaCare complex or the bird on the street from our Stone Cold newsman, Zach Berman.
Eagles practice this afternoon. They had a few key players return to practice, including Fletcher Cox, Lane Johnson, Jason Kelce, Devontae Smith. For Cox, Johnson, and Kelce, that was more rest-related, their absences on Wednesday. Devontae Smith had a headache on Wednesday. That is no longer affecting him to the point that he's not practicing. He was practicing on Thursday. Some injuries to watch. Ryan Kerrigan has a groin injury. Kerrigan did not practice. I believe that's a new injury because that was on Wednesday he was limited, regressed to DNP on Thursday.
He's working too hard trying to make up for that busted thumb.
Zach McPherson, hamstring injury, and Miles Sanders, as we know, that's the ankle foot. All of them were out today. And then among the players who are limited, watch out for Javon Hargrave. Has a shoulder injury, didn't practice Wednesday. I would anticipate him playing. Landon Dickerson's been on the injury report, or is on the injury report, I should say, with the hip injury. JJ Arcega-Whiteside has a back injury. Anthony Harris continues to be limited here, or progressed to limited, with hands and a groin injury. Elsewhere at the NovaCare complex, there is much discussion on the city, if you listen to the radio or you follow on social media, about Nick Sirianni's message to his team this week. Nick Sirianni compared the team to a flower that is fertilizing underground and is waiting to bloom and is in the stages of being ready to bloom. And
Jeremy Bloom?
No. So I will give, I know in the news report, you're not supposed to editorialize. I will editorialize a bit here. And that is, I don't think it's a big deal. I think, frankly, I appreciate it from a reporter's perspective, Nick Sirianni giving some insight into what he's saying to the team. From people I've spoken to about Sirianni, they appreciate his authenticity. He's not like just trying to be generic coach A or generic coach B. I don't know how effective these speeches are one way or the other, but I wouldn't really put too much into it one way or the other. Anyways, that's your news report. I'm Zach Berman, Birds with Friends. Back to you.
Thanks, Zach. Bang up job. Keep effing that chicken. On the flower thing.
Keep what?
Well, I'm not going to say the word. I said effing.
I don't know that expression.
You don't know? You don't know the Ernie Anestez, the classic? Oh my God! It's one of the best clips there ever is. I would say on my Mount Rushmore of internet clips, that's up there. Way to go, Paul is up there. I'd have to think about the other two.
Dan McQuaid's montage of Philadelphia sports fans is up there.
That's a good one.
If someone says to you, "Go beep that chicken," and just says it in casual,
keep effing that chicken.
I mean,
yeah, and someone says that in casual conversation, that is
but it's in the context of a news broadcast.
But no one is familiar with this news broadcast.
Everybody's familiar with it. I'm not pulling like a Mr. Hands reference on you here. This is a pretty well-known thing.
75% of this podcast was not familiar with it.
Yeah, I didn't know. Sorry, Bo.
Okay. The flower thing, I think it's not a big deal. It is the kind of thing where, like, if the Eagles were 5-2, everybody would be like, "Oh, look at the way that Sirianni, comes up with these creative ways to connect with the team." I think it's fine. I mean, it's funny, but I think it's totally fine. Sheil, you have no take?
No, I mean, yeah, I don't have a strong take on it. It's good. It's good as a topic of conversation this week. If you're annoyed by it, I can understand why you're annoyed by it, because you're probably annoyed with everything around this team right now. And so that's like another thing where you're kind of confused about why the head coach is talking about flowers. If you like Sirianni or are more measured, you're probably taking the approach that you guys just mentioned, that who cares if you go out and score 40 a week, you can talk about daffodils, begonias, petunias, whatever you want to talk about. My dad is a big, I don't know if he still does a lot, but certainly was a big gardening guy.
Okay.
And it was, this was a good lesson that now I can take as a dad, that early on he realized I had no interest in helping with any of this stuff. And so he said, if you want to join me, and you enjoy it, okay, I'd love to have you. If you don't want to, don't worry about it. You don't have to join me. So I was appreciated that, it forced me to whatever. What is that? Mulch, the digger thing. I mean, I don't. Yeah, not for
not
me.
a lot of are there. So
I mow a lawn. That's
would
all
you
I
say?
do.
Would you say that? Would you go so far as to say that there's a third subset of #Flower Indians, or is it more falling under the Science Indian category?
No, I would say it's probably neither. I mean, I can't. I don't know specifically for my dad liked to kind of break the Indian uncle stereotypes, I would say, and so I don't think you would probably find a lot of Indian uncles gardening. But my dad liked to garden, so he went ahead and did it.
Feels like a good.
Feels some headphones in.
Yeah, it feels like a good opportunity to just get some me time.
Yeah, maybe he was getting. I don't know. No, I don't think so. My parents didn't do a lot of like me time without the kids.
Huh.
Yeah, the kids were always involved.
Okay. All right. Well, I don't know. Is there anything else to even talk about the current team? I did think it was funny, like the idea of Devontae Smith coming off of missing a practice with a headache. If he had come to a press conference today and then everybody starts shouting at him, like asking questions, it makes sense that he didn't give a press conference today. They didn't want to re-aggravate the migraine.
Sure.
I don't know. Anything else? Anything else, Zach?
No, I think from the NovaCare complex, there's a lot of weight.
What did you make of Jack Stoll's comments?
I was not there for Jack Stoll. I was following Avante Maddox out the door to try to talk to Avante for a few minutes. So Avante and I caught up about Detroit.
I mean, this probably falls into the category of if you might just be annoyed by everything with the team right now, but they did send out a tweet with Jack Stoll's comments. I don't know. I just thought that was a little. I don't know how many people. I'm sure I know the Eagles social media team. How many followers do they have? Millions, I would think. I don't know how many people following that would know who Jack Stoll is. If I'm being honest, I did not know what Jack Stoll looked like without a helmet. Not that I'm a beat writer covering the team every day, but he was the one out there with a vote of confidence, I guess you could say, for Nick Sirianni with the tweet. I found it comical.
So Sheil, on that note, all right, and look, this is just the nature of the media setup that we have now. Obviously, as our listeners know, we are not in the locker room every day. Things are done outside because of COVID, and there's a press conference area, and it's not like they say today we're going to have player X, player Y, and player Z, so you can prep for them. Hurts is talking on Wednesdays, and then for a lot of these guys, you don't necessarily need to prep. You basically know what the questions are. You know what the pertinent topics are.
You got to be prepared, know all the angles.
So last Friday, we're all sitting there, and a guy walks up and sits at the podium.
Yeah.
And none of us had ever seen this person in our lives. Okay. And it was, and they didn't say Tay Gowan to the podium, right? It was just like, he comes and he sits there and they're like, questions. And we're like looking around trying to figure out.
You even didn't know who it was?
No,
Zach didn't know who it was, but I will tell you this. Zach didn't know who it was either. I think there must have been one person who figured it out, and then we all figured it out and went from there. But without knowing,
who was it?
It was Tay Gowan.
It was Tay Gowan.
It was Tay Gowan. But without knowing who Tay Gowan was, now of course Tay Gowan traded to the team last week. Zach, extremely on brand, without knowing that this was Tay Gowan, jumps in the middle of the press conference with, "Now you lived in Philadelphia in 10th grade, right? What do you remember about that time?"
No, I knew it was Tay Gowan at that point. I didn't know it was Tay Gowan. So I knew some general facts about Tay Gowan. I knew that he opted out last year. I knew why he opted out. I knew that he lived in Philadelphia at a certain point. I knew some basics from his childhood. Credit, by the way, to Dane Brugler. Dane Brugler is so clutch when it comes. If they're acquiring a player who has been drafted in like the past 5 years. I don't have Dane's draft guides from like 2012, right? But, so they acquired Tay Gowan. You search it, and Dane has the this outstanding. Dane, that's a good one, Brandon. Thank you.
For those listening, Brandon says, Zach burned that quote, "Who are you?" question. Oh no, where'd it go? Oh, here it is. Zach burned that "Who are you?" question on Fletcher Cox. Should have kept that in the back pocket. So that would have been great. That would be awesome if that was your go-to. Sorry.
Who are you?
So when they acquire a player, when they sign a player, when they claim a player off waivers, whatever it is, I just pull up the draft guide. I have them all in a folder. Dane's draft guides on my computer, and they are so comprehensive that you get that paragraph on Tay Gowan. And, back in the day, Sheil talks about like the newspaper mentality. You used to do something called a clip search, where you would go on to like LexisNexis or something like that, and you would search everything that's been written about a player before they came on. And if I'm doing a feature on a player, I still do that. But if you just want the quick skinny, not Tay.
Skinny.
Dane gives you that.
That's what they call Devontae Smith.
As opposed to the slow fat. Am I right?
So
that's what they call me.
So anyways, that's a little anecdote about Tay Gowan coming to the podium last week.
My favorite "Who Are You?" I don't know if Marissa would remember this or not, but it's a Yankees reference. After that big Yankees Red Sox brawl, I think the one Don Zimmer was involved in.
Oh, this is my one of my favorites.
I remember Pedro Martinez was just being interviewed. I think it was SportsCenter.
Yes,
and he
I love this.
And I forget he was naming some players. He's like, this guy I didn't understand. This guy, but he goes, Karim Garcia? Who are you? Who are you, Karim Garcia? So
who are you to come at me?
Yeah, in the last 20 years, anytime anyone says, who are you? My head just goes Karim Garcia.
This is
great clip.
Talk about a great clip. In common.
Yeah, that was fantastic.
Who are you, Karim Garcia? All right.
Karim Garcia.
So good. So good. All right. Why don't we take a little break and then we'll come back and talk some Detroit Lions. What do we need to know? Probably not that much. Sheil, that's what Sheil's going to tell us.
When the moment for intimacy arrives, you need to be ready, Roman ready. Whether you've been in a relationship for years or are just getting started, having the confidence that comes from preparation means you're free to enjoy the moment when the moment comes. Go to roman.com/BWF now to speak to a U.S. licensed healthcare professional about erectile dysfunction and get $15 off your first month of treatment. ED is more common than most people think. In fact, 52% of men between the ages of 40 and 70 will experience some form of ED. Roman Ready is confidence personified. It is the self-assurance that comes from knowing you've prepared yourself for the moment when intimacy arrives. Take care of your ED without leaving your home. Complete an online visit today to connect with a U.S. licensed healthcare professional and take care of it. Go to getroman.com/BWF today, and if you're prescribed, get $15 off your first month of ED treatment. Make sure you're ready to have confidence and control this fall. Roman Ready. Finding the motivation to work out and eat healthy has always been a struggle, but that will change once you find MyFitnessPal. Maybe you thought it was just for counting calories. That's not the case. MyFitnessPal teaches you about nutrition and fitness habits and helps create new ones that stick. What's more motivating than that? MyFitnessPal isn't a rigid diet plan. Instead, you gradually learn from personalized data that works for you. And if your version of healthy looks different from mine or someone else's, that's okay. The whole point is helping you find the best path to your goals. Even better is a MyFitnessPal premium membership. You get custom tools and expert guidance to help you reach your personal health goals your way. App customization lets you choose the right settings to help you meet your individual goals. So if you're into macro tracking, low carb, heart health, or whatever, you can stick to it more easily. Premium's deeper nutritional insights help you discover which foods fuel you best. With MyFitnessPal, you're not going at it alone. You have access to guided daily workout and meal plans written by dietitians and exercise scientists, plus support from other members with shared goals and experiences. MyFitnessPal does way more than just count calories. Get the support you need to meet your health goals. Unlock all the amazing things MyFitnessPal can do. Start your premium membership today. Go to bwf.myfitnesspal.com and use code BWF to get a 1-month premium membership for free. That's bwf.myfitnesspal.com, code BWF for a free 1-month premium membership. bwf.myfitnesspal.com.
Back on Birds with Friends. It occurs to me, Sheil, I think at one point I had considered back in the days when you needed to start your own blog to practice writing. I had considered naming my blog "Who is Karim Garcia?"
Great name.
Don't think I had on that.
Let's incorporate that into a segment here, or if we all get fired, let's start that up.
Flu is Karim Garcia. That can be a thing. We'll figure it out. All right, like flu, like bird flu.
Oh, okay.
Not the bird flu, but the bird flew in the air. You got me? As AZ would say, that's flu is a homonym.
Wow.
Okay. Lions.
Mm-hmm.
Try hard, play hard. Not very talented, but feisty. Pretty much it.
Yeah, you covered it, I think. Do you want me to go on? I mean, that is it. I mean, I do think, it's the kind of thing where, as we've discussed, when you're looking at a first-year head coach and you're looking for little things about, all right, once the players are good, is this going to, are there things he's doing now that we like that will pay off once the players are good? And listen, I was not on board with the Dan Campbell hire. I was making the same jokes everyone else was making. I still don't know if he's going to be very good, but I will say the way he coached that game last week against the Rams was outstanding. They were 15.5-point underdogs. And if you're an underdog by that amount, you should be trying to create a high variance, weird, let's get crazy type game. And that's exactly what he did. They had 2 fake punts in that game. They had an onside kick. I mean, they were just doing stuff that you typically would not see an NFL head coach do. And I loved that. And even earlier, I think it was a couple of weeks ago, they play the Vikings and they drive for the, what could be the game tying touchdown, but he goes for 2 and they get the 2. Now the defense gave up a drive to Bo's boy, Kirk Cousins, but I like that too. That's not an analytics play, that's not, hey, okay, he's very analytically sound. It's just, shoot, we're 0-5. We're this close. Let's go ahead and try to win the game here. And he did do that. So there's been stuff like that I've enjoyed from Dan Campbell. The team, stinks. I don't know that there's another roster that's worse than this in the NFL. And they came into the season that way, and then they got crushed by injuries. So now it's like even the young players like a Jeffrey Okudah, who you thought, all right, maybe he'll develop into a good corner. He had a season-ending injury. There are 4 or 5 guys we can really name that that's happened to. And so that's been my sort of take on the Lions. That, they've been competitive in stretches, which sounds like a backhanded compliment, but it's not. When I'm sitting here and I have multiple games on and you have Red Zone channel on and you're saying, all right, which team's just, down 21-0 in the first quarter. Like, that if that's them, they usually come back, or there's some point in the game where you feel like they're hanging in there and sort of being competitive. So that's kind of the big picture take on the Lions.
I will say, just from what they do on offense, if ever there's a week for the Eagles defense to not be so unbelievably passive, this is the week, right? The Lions are one of the more run-heavy teams on first and second down in the league. Jared Goff's ADOT is as short as any quarterback in the league. Do not worry about only preventing them from getting explosive plays. Let's go after them a little bit. The offensive line, as you said, injured at most spots. If ever there's a week to not be so passive, this is it.
So I saw. I agree with you there. By the way, they can't threaten you at wide receiver.
They play a little man. What are you worried about? Geronimo Allison beating you deep? Come on.
Amon St. Brown. Yeah,
sorry,
but so during the break, I was scanning the comments.
Kadero
right?
Hodge.
I'm not doing it during the show, but during the break, I was scanning it, and I saw someone before say that they don't like during the draft. I talk up too much about the local guys. All right, and they were doing this in response to Sheil saying that I have this newspaper mentality.
I like that. So, I like that. Ignore that. Yeah.
No,
you gotta cook, baby.
So anyway,
I like a local
you gotta do
connection.
what you do. How else would we know?
I preface that by saying I apologize to said listener. I forget which listener it is, but I'm ready to tell. I'm ready to apologize. Don't screw you. I'm a major. I appreciate all our listeners.
Well, you don't have to do the screwing,
but
drop.
But that said, there's a local player this weekend who is the biggest threat on the field for the Eagles, in my opinion.
John Tennessini.
Jonah Jackson.
Yeah. DeAndre Swift is awesome. DeAndre Swift is awesome. And I know TJ Hawkinson is one of the better tight ends in the NFL, and Hawkinson can be a threat to you. But to me, the player you're worried about getting the ball in his hands is DeAndre Swift. I haven't watched nearly as much Lions as Sheil has, but the brief snippets that I've watched has been DeAndre Swift getting a ball in the flat and making a play downfield. He had that 60-yard catch last week. He's the guy who you go in here and you say, all right, we need to limit DeAndre Swift. let Amon St. Brown beat you. No
Amon
disrespect
Ra.
to Amon-Ra St. Brown, yes. But not DeAndre Swift.
Is he
DeAndre
playing,
Swift's a
by
real
the
good
way?
player.
I thought he was. Is
St.
he
Brown?
healthy? Yeah, I don't know.
I think he's questionable.
Okay. You are right, Zach. I'm with you. I loved Swift. He is fun to watch. I mean, he would be so fun to watch.
I like Jamal Williams too as like a guy to watch.
Love a Jamal
Yeah.
Williams. Yeah, I when I was doing the flex top free agents stuff.
What a flex
year,
fest this episode is.
Just watching the Jamal Williams snaps, I'm like, oh
Yeah,
my,
he's
this
fun.
guy's good. This is a good.
Remember, he was
running back
killing the Eagles in that Thursday night game, and then was it Derek Barnett who knocked him out? He got a bad concussion.
Nice clean.
You don't say.
One of the many clean plays by really smart, great football play.
Work him up into a lather. Here we go.
And Jamal Williams, have you seen his like press conferences? Great personality.
Oh yeah.
He was describing the Packers as like an old girlfriend who didn't want you, but he had like a nice. I liked his delivery. He was very entertaining. So I do like both those players for sure. This year, Swift is their leading receiver. This year, he's got 391 yards, and so in the passing game, he's been fantastic. I was looking at some of the numbers, just wasting my day away today, looking at Lions running back numbers, and Jamal Williams has been like much better as a runner this year, but small sample and all that. You know, last year I thought Swift's advanced metrics last year were really good, both as a runner and a receiver. So I was trying to target him in some fantasy drafts this year. Yeah, so those are the guys. I think they're the most run heavy team, I believe, on early downs. So Anthony Lynn is their offensive coordinator. Dan Campbell is their head coach, and Jared Goff is their quarterback. So that shouldn't really be all too surprising that they run the football a lot. Efficiency wise, they haven't had a great run game, but I'm sort of with what you guys are saying. When you watch them, I'm kind of like, O-line's not terrible and the backs are not bad. So it's not like a run game that's just going to come in and you're guaranteed to be able to shut them down. I actually think they have some talent. What you were saying about Jared Goff, it's true. If you look at the athletic.com/playbook and you look at the Lions chapter, even the Rams chapter, Goff, I believe, had the highest difference in performance when pressured and when not pressured of any quarterback in the NFL. I mean, this is the definition of a guy who you want to make feel uncomfortable at pretty much all costs, because he will crumble, he will make mistakes, he will turn the ball over. Let's see if they do that or not, or if they're worried about Khalif Raymond. Not a bad player, getting over the top and playing Rodney McLeod in Dearborn. I don't know. I was trying to think of a Michigan town. Is that a good one?
Yeah, that's a great one. That's
Flint,
where
Dearborn.
Yeah.
Windsor.
Windsor.
No, Windsor's across the
I would
river
like to spend some.
Yeah, but
I would like
that's
to
how
spend
deep
some
they would
summertime in a Michigan. Isn't it
Yeah.
nice
I have.
time? You have? All right. What do you got? What, like by a lake, by a body of water? What'd you do?
No. I took classes at the University of Michigan one summer.
Whoa! What is this nugget, Bo? Do you know anything about this?
No.
Let's hear about it.
When I was in high school, I took classes at Michigan.
Ooh, high school class.
To Ann Arbor?
Yeah, I did.
What year? By far the most excited I've been at anything in this pod for like 3 weeks.
After my sophomore year of high school. And I took a program there. And
what was the program?
I mean, journalism program.
Oh, what journal? Sophomore in high school? Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Writing about the Fab Four?
I stayed in, I can vividly remember I stayed in Stockwell Hall, which actually is during the year there is an all-girls dorm. It was not an all-girls dorm during the.
Too bad for you, am I right?
But
that was my first mistress.
I loved my time in Ann Arbor. Well, I say my time in Ann Arbor. I was there for a few weeks. I loved those few weeks.
What was
Ann
it?
Arbor.
3 weeks? 4 weeks?
It was like a 6-week program. Yeah, or
so
a
you're
5 week.
6 weeks on your own in Ann Arbor, Michigan, as a sophomore in high school.
Yeah.
Wow! Look at you.
Unbelievable. So I'm actually planning on going to Ann Arbor this weekend, not for the afternoon on Saturday. I was hoping to go to the Michigan State game. That game is at noon. I land after the game, and the game's in East Lansing, so not able to make it. But really, Ann Arbor's a great town. Blimpie
So
Burger.
you're there.
Was that the beginning of
Zingerman's.
your love for college towns?
That was the first college town I really spent time in. Yeah.
So who were you hanging out with? A bunch of other high school students who were also interested in journalism?
No, he was hanging out with he was hanging out with like crusty 48-year-old newspaper editors.
I thought
talking about headlines.
I'm genuinely asking.
Yeah, other people who were in the program. I mean, it wasn't
people
just
from across the country.
Well, here's the real question. Did anyone else in that program end up in the journalism field? Have you stayed in touch with any of them or followed their careers?
I'm embarrassed to say that program I have not kept in touch with anyone from.
Okay.
I did some other programs in college that I have kept in touch with people from, but not that one.
Okay. So what did you do? You go to
I took classes.
Took classes by journalism professors.
Yeah. Yep.
Okay.
And then
wow, this guy ahead of the game.
Took a bus trip to Sandusky, Ohio, where the what's that big amusement park with the big Cedar Point? I think it was
Cedar Point. Yeah.
Yeah, Cedar Point. Went to a Tigers game that summer at Comerica Park. I remember that. Went to a Toledo Mud Hens game, I believe, too, that summer as well. So, yeah, that was around the corner from Ann Arbor.
I have a Toledo Mud Hens T-shirt.
Always loved the name Toledo Mud Hens.
Great. Love it. Outstanding.
And I'm sorry we deviated on this. We went down this way because we were talking about Michigan towns. And you said you want to spend a summer in Michigan.
Not a whole summer. I would like to, wouldn't that, I feel like a week's vacation in Michigan might be fun. Yeah. But a little Midwest. Sure. I think the Midwest is underutilized by East Coast people as a summer vacation spot. Marissa, what do you think? You're now a Midwesterner. Are you? Does it count?
I don't know. My geography is terrible. I will say the lake is beautiful. I'm by Lake Erie, so I don't know, like in Michigan, what lake. I probably sound so uneducated right now. Whatever the lake is by Ann Arbor. Yeah. But I will have to say, like Zberm, I actually, when I was in high school, I took classes at Fordham, journalism classes in the summer. So I didn't go stay overnight. And this is shout out to my amazing mom. She drove me to the Bronx every single day.
That is amazing.
But yeah, we did similar things. We went to like a Mets game and got to go in the press box and like all that kind of stuff. So
unbelievable.
Us journalism nerds in high school.
I'm slicing bagels at JC's Bagelry and bringing home Cinnabons and thinking I'm crushing it. And these two are learning the craft already. Wow.
Fantastic.
Yeah. It worked out well for you. You're a senior national writer. So
Zach he's still
I should have done the
still
bagels.
Perfecting that nut graph.
Yeah, seriously. I'm too focused on players returning to their hometowns for games, right?
That was actually the 200 level course.
That's like, oh my gosh. Zach's not going to let me forget about that one.
Post-grad.
I can tell.
Yeah, I have a whole list of every game this year of like players' hometowns. I got to delete that folder.
That's a wrestling mentality, not a newspaper mentality. That's good. All right.
Lions. What else?
Lions defense, I would say correct me if I'm wrong, Sheil, sort of like the opposite of the Eagles defense in that they are also bad and not talented, but they try different things. You see a bunch of two down linemen sometimes, moving parts. Aaron Glenn, first-time defensive coordinator. Well, I'd rather watch that than what we've seen from the Eagles.
I would agree with you. Yeah, this is like the Saints mentality under Dennis Allen, or at least has been in recent years, and that's where Aaron Glenn previously was, which is like we're going to be able to throw all sorts of stuff at you, and we're going to make your week of preparation difficult, and we're going to make those 5 seconds before the ball is snapped very difficult, and you might not know what coverage we're playing. Even when the ball's in your hands, we're going to confuse you. We're not just going to focus on one thing. We're going to adjust to the opponent, and so that's the way they've played. If you just look up their coverage snaps, I mean, there really is not one dominant coverage. They've been more zone heavy this year, I think maybe than they typically would be because of the personnel, but they play split safety. They play single high. I think they're a little bit above league average in terms of blitz frequency. And so they do a lot of different things. They'll you will see some zero blitz, I would imagine, this weekend. And so they haven't been very good. I'm not saying that, but they do try a lot of different things.
And how is Pinasini doing?
It's interesting. I do remember watching one of their games recently, and it was announced, the announcer said Penasini. So I didn't know if you had been, if you had known that all this time or not, or if you didn't know how to pronounce it, or if the announcer is wrong.
Who's to say?
Yeah. I don't know. Penasini, they of course have Jonah Jackson, the pride of Pencrest High School, down the street here, where we just watched a Pencrest girls soccer game a couple weekends ago. I got to tell you, I'm hoping my daughters get into soccer. I find that to be, I found it very entertaining.
I would say, having had two younger sisters who both played lots of different sports, from an entertainment standpoint of what was most fun to watch, I would say that girls soccer was towards the top. Soccer and hockey for me.
Very physical.
Yeah.
My gosh.
It's the worst field hockey.
To the back. Yeah, you've told me that before.
Because there's so many stoppages. It takes forever.
I covered the field hockey
until they're in high school.
I covered the field hockey national championship in 2009 or 2009 or 10.
Wake Forest.
Against it was Maryland. Was this powerhouse.
Wake had won 2 or 3 in a row at that point, I think.
No, and Maryland lost, and it broke this big streak. But the game was in Winston-Salem. I remember because I was driving down the Clemson.
Some a-hole who was there. I thought it was a story about young me.
I was doing a Virginia Clemson game, and on the drive down, I stopped. They wanted me to stop in Winston-Salem for that field hockey game because Maryland was in it. So,
all right,
you said stuff.
Yeah. I didn't realize we're 42 minutes in. Yeah, let's take a break and move on.
Okay. Well, let's hear some ads.
Bo will not stop talking to me about Peloton. Committing to make time to work out can be tough, but as he said, with Peloton, you can start building fitness into your routine with thousands of cardio and strength classes that take as little as 15 minutes. The original Peloton bike now costs $400 less, so now is the perfect time to start building the momentum to reach your fitness goals. Sometimes when things get overwhelming, taking care of yourself is the first thing to go. But even if all you can spare is 15 minutes, you can seamlessly fit cardio and strength classes into your routine with Peloton. And there's never been a better moment to commit to your fitness goals because the original Peloton bike is now $400 less. Whether you're looking for some extra encouragement, structured workouts, or just in the mood to laugh, their instructors are there to bring out your best during each class. Peloton isn't just game-changing cardio. Add a strength class to your ride or combine cardio and strength into one workout with Bike Boot Camp to get a total body fitness experience. You can get one subscription for the whole family. The All Access membership is like a family plan for no additional cost. Bring home the Peloton experience for your whole family with access to their entire class library, encouragement from expert instructors, and the convenience of working out from home. They have limitless class variety with an endless variety of live and on-demand cycling classes, live and on-demand strength yoga, and stretching classes off the bike. You'll keep coming back for more. Experience motivation like never before with the Peloton bike, now $400 less. Go to onepeloton.com to learn more. That's onepeloton.com. If you want to pay off your student loans faster, listen up. Earnest was voted best student loan refinancing overall by NerdWallet. Earnest has some of the lowest rates, flexible payments, and an in-house team ready to help. With Earnest, you could change your interest rate, get a lower monthly payment, and you never pay fees, not even late fees. By refinancing, you can reduce your loan term, save money, or combine multiple loans into a simple monthly payment. And if you have questions, you can even talk to a real-life human at Earnest for help. When you pay less interest, you can put that money towards your goals. With Earnest, it only takes 2 minutes to see what your new rate could be, and there's no credit impact. And right now, Earnest is offering our listeners a $100 cash bonus. Refinance your student debt at earnest.com/birds. Not available in all states. Once again, you get a $100 cash bonus when you visit earnest.com/birds to refinance your student loan. Visit earnest.com/birds for more details. Not available in all states. Terms and conditions apply. Earnest student loan refinancing made by Earnest Operations LLC, NMLS number 1204917, California financing law, license number 605478853. Any romance, ZB, that summer? I think the listeners, the viewers want to know.
I mean, you're what, 14, 15 years old, so you're doing just what 14, 15-year-olds do.
Whoa!
For me, that was like hanging out at home by myself.
Yeah.
Nah, I mean, nothing substantial, nothing worth like.
Well, sparks were flying.
Come on over to my room and work on this nut graph. Let's invert this pyramid. You know what I mean?
All right. Let's move on. I can't believe that we were supposed to do a mail thing today. I guess we're not doing that, right? I mean, we're 45 minutes.
Do you want to get? We can.
Why don't we just save it?
We got to do.
Right,
well, we have to do one more
questions.
ad break anyway. So why don't we we'll do a couple of them.
All right.
Before we get to Swooper Soarcasting. By the way, what are the kids being for Halloween, Sheil?
2 characters from the Descendants.
Oh, okay. People like the Descendants. I've heard good things.
A little risque, I feel like. You know what?
Sheil, it only gets worse from here as your daughters get older on Halloween. Yeah.
Like, my gosh, these. No, I don't know. I haven't seen them in their actual costumes, but when these movies are on, I'm like, this looks a little advanced for young girls. But what are you gonna do?
Zach, you got a few years, and Bo's got.
I'm here. Listen, I'm here doing a
yeah.
podcast anyway. I'm not keeping tabs on what anyone's doing as we establish.
My kids are
Hump Day Sheil.
My kids are the Paw Patrol characters. So
much
I think we have a Chase and a Sky. Is it Sky? Right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Chase and Sky.
That's right.
I have a lot of nieces and nephews. That's why I know that, guys. So,
we're going pirates over here in the Wulf household.
Very nice.
Cute. And happy birthday to Jane. It's not only Halloween, but it's her first birthday.
That's right.
Big post.
I'll be away covering a game between 2 teams with 2 wins combined. Not a lot of Eagles questions of the questions we got, which not a surprise. Not a lot of juice for this game. Who is one Eagles coach or player from your time covering the team that you would like to get into a boxing ring with, regardless of who you think would win?
I don't want to box any of them, honestly. I mean, I'll get the crap kicked out of me.
Not a single person who wouldn't just beat the crap out of us. But
I have no answer to this. Let's just move on to Swooper Soarcasting.
Okay.
No, are there any more questions?
You have an answer? I don't have an answer. I don't know.
I mean, probably like Riley Cooper or Jason Babin or something.
Oh, player. Okay, player.
Yeah.
That'd be Riley Cooper would probably be good.
All right.
Okay.
Yeah, Cooper. Here you go.
Yeah, Cooper. I mean, the 3 of us in the ring against him, he would just totally wipe the floor with us. How about from Kill a Cow? What's your best wedding planning advice? And please have something better than nod and agree with your fiance when she suggests things.
Marissa should answer this one.
She hasn't been through it. Yeah, she's still in the middle of it.
I'm in need of advice. I want to hear this.
All right, Sheil first, and then I'll go.
If you have something, go ahead. I don't know that I have a great answer yet.
I will say.
Thinking about.
Well, so they don't want me to say just what's the thing that they don't want you to say?
Don't do the old
just whatever she says, just nod ahead and agree. Here's the best advice: just say yes.
No,
happy wife, happy life. Am I right?
I don't mean to generalize, but like most men don't have like a dream wedding, right? Or as much as the women do. So I would say like acquiesce, but no, overall, my advice would be that focus more on being married than getting married, right? Like the marriage is a day, or the wedding is a day. The marriage is a lifetime. So like
you get the rest of your life with that wife.
Maybe.
Yeah. So put thought into the kind of husband or wife you want to be, and not the kind of groom or bride you want to be.
To be fair, he didn't ask for marriage advice. He asked for wedding planning advice.
Yeah, but that's it's so much is made about the day.
I like it, Seaberm. I like it.
Thank you, Marissa. Thank you.
I would say 2 things. One would be, consider if you really want to have that wedding. You know, it's a lot of money. You could do a lot with that money in like your first 2, 3, 4, 5 years married. It might be more long lasting than just a one day celebration. You could find a way to celebrate without, going above and beyond. That's, it's just one thing. No one here everybody's giving me mean looks. See, I shouldn't say that. Marissa's going to have a wonderful wedding. It's going to be a great time.
I know. Everything is so expensive.
It's crazy. It's something you have no idea about until you get in there and you're going, wait, what are you talking
and once
about?
You
Why
tell
would we
them,
ever do this?
Once you tell them it's a wedding, it's like everything's more. Like you could be buying this many flowers for something, but like, tell them it's a wedding and it's like 40% more.
But an industrial complex
everything
built around it. Yeah.
But assuming you are actually going to have the wedding, I would say don't feel like you have to do what the norms are, what everyone else is doing. Make it wedding-like. We had a Carvel ice cream cake for our cake,
Nice.
our wedding cake, because I love ice cream cake.
You love an ice cream cake.
My wife loves ice cream cake. Who doesn't love ice cream cake? So people were sitting around picking at it. They were saying, yeah, give me another piece of that. Shout out to the Mullica Hill Carvel and the readers of the old Philly.com Moving the Chains blog who volunteered to help us out with that. So that's what I would say. If you have a certain spin on something that you feel like we're going to enjoy this, the people who are there are going to enjoy this, so what? It's not what everyone else does. We still want to do it.
I think that's good advice. I would say, like, when you are worried about like who to invite or who not to invite, like anyone worthwhile whose opinion matters is going to understand if they're not invited.
Absolutely.
Basically.
Absolutely.
So don't like worry about offending people on that front.
Marissa, don't take that.
And here's the like, don't. It's a night you want to remember. Don't overindulge.
Yes.
For like host of worst podcast. And then of course, if you are going to be seated at any point during the ceremony, make sure it's a well cushioned seat. So in case you sit on your little Duprees, you're not knocking out the filming for a couple days. That's just for Kill a Cow.
Oh, for Kill. Okay. I was very confused. I thought you had a wedding thing that we hadn't heard about before that you sat on, as you would say, your little Duprees. But okay, it's for Kill a Cow. All right, now I get it. Yeah.
What is the most boring event you've ever covered? I don't think Zach is even going to have an answer here.
Most boring event
from Fransky in LA.
I don't think I have a great answer for this. I mean, I'm sure it was something in college.
I think it would. I would say it would have to be an Eagles game from last season, because
that would be more exciting than preseason, right?
Yeah, I guess. Well, preseason is like you're not
preseason like, game.
Well, those Eagles Jets preseason.
You treat it like a preseason game, Yeah.
Okay.
I say last year because covering it like remotely, as opposed to like being in the press box, makes it more boring and more difficult to like come up with an angle. So that's what that pops to mind. Okay. All right. Let's take our last break and then we'll come back with Swooper Soarcasting and Crystal Bald Eagle.
If you've got a small business, you know that there's nothing more valuable than your time. So stop wasting it on trips to the post office. Stamps.com makes it easy to mail and ship right from your computer. Save time and money with Stamps.com. Send letters and packages for less with discounted rates from USPS, UPS, and more. Since 1998, Stamps.com has been an indispensable tool for nearly 1 million businesses. Stamps.com brings the services of the U.S. Postal Service and UPS shipping right to your computer, whether you're an office sending invoices, a side hustle Etsy shop, or a full-blown warehouse shipping out orders. Stamps.com will make your life easier. All you need is a computer and standard printer, no special supplies or equipment. Within minutes, you're up and running, printing official postage for any letter, any package, anywhere you want to send. And you'll get exclusive discounts on postage and shipping from USPS and UPS. Once your mail is ready, just schedule a pickup or drop it off. No traffic, no lines. Cut the confusion out of shipping. With Stamps.com's new Rate Advisor tool, you can compare shipping rates and timelines to easily find the best option. Save time and money with Stamps.com. There's no risk, and with our promo code BWF, you get a special offer that includes a 4-week trial plus free postage and a digital scale. No long-term commitments or contracts. Just go to Stamps.com, click on the microphone at the top of the homepage, and type in BWF. That's Stamps.com, promo code BWF. Stamps.com. Never go to the post office again.
All right. Swooper Soarcasting. Another win for Sheil last week. He is up to a
Becoming so boring. I mean,
2.5 turkey lead on me, 3.5 on Zach. Zach has 38 turkeys to bid with this week. Sheil has 28. I have 26. Let's get this bad boy cranking.
Okay. We will start with Avante Maddox gets an interception, forced fumble, or what is recovery? Fumble recovery.
1.
2.
3. Jared Goff will turn the ball over now.
Do I hear?
4.
How many things do I have? Turkeys?
28.
No, I'm out.
Bo?
Someone said Zach's going. James said Zach's going all in on this.
Well, so I have items ready.
I'm gonna
write a Maddox story for the game, right? So,
Bo, if this happens, you say, Zach, I was thinking for the day after I was going to do Avante Maddox. I just feel like it's a big.
I'm gonna let Zach have it.
Sold to Zach for 4.
Zach deserves it. Zach deserves
All right.
it.
I had the Darius Slay thing ready. But there's a Darius Slay story up, by the way, now on The Athletic. You can check that out if
It's at
you
the bottom
want.
of the page right now.
Thank you. But yeah, so I asked him that
theathletic.com/birdswithfriends will get you a nice deal.
Absolutely. But that's something I asked the question back in August, thinking about doing a Slay story this week. So
Who do you got for Denver?
who do I have for Denver? They don't have anyone coming. They don't have any homecomings for Denver because that's one I would have, you could have attached a story to it, right? There's nothing there.
I have Seth Wickersham's Patriots book, but I haven't dug into it quite yet. But I saw a passage circulating on the internet today about Matt Patricia, or actually a listener sent this to us. He or she was listening on audiobook and sent it to us, and it was about how much Matt Patricia emulated Bill Belichick.
Yeah.
To the point that the pencil he wore in his ear, no one ever actually saw him use that pencil. Bill Belichick uses the pencil to write things down.
Yep.
Patricia just uses it for
and
the
he has
look.
a laminated
He had
sheet.
a laminated sheet, so he couldn't even use the pencil. I mean, unbelievable. We were right about that guy, Urban Meyer. Who else?
Unbelievably pathetic.
I would suggest our readers purchase that book because Seth did an outstanding job. But that passage in particular, that passage comes during the Eagles Patriots Super Bowl chapter, right? Because it comes at the point when it explains why Malcolm Butler didn't play in that game. And then it gets into Patricia. So it's that passage is very relevant to Eagles fans. So I'd make sure to check that out.
And if you read that passage and you find yourself thinking, you know what, this was a good chapter, but I'd like to read a whole book about that Super Bowl and that Super Bowl
maybe from
season.
another perspective.
Where might you find that opportunity?
Underdogs, the Philadelphia Eagles' emotional road to Super Bowl victory makes all right, this is a little bit of a flex, but the past 3 road games, we've had people each game reach out about arranging a book signing. And I will say, if you're going, I don't know if anyone made Detroit their destination this year, but maybe people made
people living there.
Yeah, true. Or maybe people made Denver. Anyone who's interested, 45 minutes, 35 minutes before the game, I will meet at an agreed upon spot at the stadium and happy to sign.
No, wait a second. Have you consummated all 3 of those signings?
No, I did 2 of them in Charlotte.
What?
Okay. Dallas, we had a hard time meeting, but and then Vegas, there was an issue with someone was late getting in. I shouldn't say late getting into the stadium. There was a holdup because of the vaccination card, verification, and it was getting too close to kickoff. I had to get back up.
Or Zach was at the blackjack table.
Oh, no, this is before the game.
All right, so Zach, you get that for 4.
Okay.
All right. A running back is the game's leading receiver.
1.
Sorry, is Miles Sanders playing or no?
No, it doesn't look that way. Hasn't been ruled out yet, but don't expect it.
3,
4,
5.
Whoa.
Do I hear 6?
You got a lot to play with, Zach.
6.
Ooh.
Always heck him on. Unbelievable.
I'm betting on DeAndre here, right?
Philly guy.
Gainwell.
Going
Kenny
once.
Gainwell.
Going twice.
No, I'm out.
Sold to
That's a good
ZB. All
By the way,
right.
the Eagles' leading receiver in the Super Bowl that we just talked about was a running back, Corey Clement, 100 yards.
Corey Clement.
All right. Well, speaking of
Todd
DeAndre
Bowles
Swift,
from last year.
has a reception that gains for 20 or more yards.
Sorry, shouldn't be.
2,
3,
4,
5,
6.
7.
Do I stack my lineup with this and the 100? You know, because
8. Remember, a 20-yard completion against the Eagles is like a check down.
That's true. That's true.
9.
10.
Wow.
Wow.
Going once. Going twice. Sold to Sheil. All right.
But it has to be a reception, of course. Not just a run.
Halapulavati Vaitai gives up a sack. Can use PFF True Media charting. Note, half a sack counts. Anything other than 0 sacks, you sickos.
1.
2,
3.
5.
Ooh, a jump.
Oh! I gotta do an all-pro team I was assigned for next week. I think Javon Hargrave might be a starting defensive tackle on that bad boy.
They were going to say Vaitai.
No.
Yeah, that sounds right to me.
What are we at? 5?
Seaburn 5.
6.
7.
Zach coming out swinging.
This guy is changing his whole mentality.
Going once.
Reminded him of his high school exploits in Michigan. All of a sudden, he's a changed man.
He's one Avante Maddox tattoo, I was going to say, and all of a sudden it's... sorry, what'd you say, 7?
7, yep.
No.
All right.
I always liked Halapulavati.
Yeah.
This is a chance for you to tell your favorite Halapulavati Vaitai story.
You want to save it for the post-game pod?
No.
Yeah,
That's a good one.
how am I allowed to call him Hal? That one?
Oh, no. His family.
No. Oh, yeah. Well, his brother's names. His brother's names are what, like Kevin and John
Bob
or something?
yeah.
Yeah. He's named after his uncle.
Right.
Yeah. But no, in Madden, I told this. In Madden, he's listed as, or he was, his rookie year was listed as Hal Vaitai.
Oh.
And I asked him, does anyone call you Hal? And he said, no one calls me Hal, but you can call me Hal. So he said you can call me Hal. But no,
easy. Even I was on that one.
I always called him Halapulavati. So
yes, well, I remember that, and we that was on the very beginning of Birds with Friends. We mentioned that we respected that out of you, and we tried to embrace it as well. My favorite Vaitai thing was from the Super Bowl media day. I've told this story before, when there was one of the reporters from, I think, E! or something like that, was asking if the players like wives would like to be on Desperate Housewives or whatever it is, Real Housewives or something, and he very earnestly said, "Oh no, my wife has a lot of respect for herself." So
that's pretty funny. All right. Jared Goff has a completion percentage above 85%.
Oof. 85. 1.
The chat argued this one back and forth. It was 80, then someone said 90, then they agreed upon 85. So
85 is, I'm not gonna let you have it for 1, 2.
Do I hear 3?
Okay. I'll sit out then.
Zach?
Sitting out this one.
All right. Sold to Bo for 3.
Great. That's going to be fun to root for.
Okay, this might be fun to root for, especially Halloween and a spooky, tricky day. The Eagles or the Lions successfully complete a trick play, a fake punt, onside kick, or a fake field goal. And the key word in there is successfully complete. So none that
So
they
what is a
try it.
trick play?
Yeah, let's define a fake punt. Well, they're there. Fake
The
punt,
special team
onside
ones
kick,
are
fake field goal. Is there anything else like a Philly special or
a
something? doesn't count, right?
non-quarterback throwing the ball.
Yeah, I
Well,
would
it does
say.
count.
I think so. That's a trick play.
I kind of like fake punt on there because it's something that Bo would do, like a fake
Oh.
punt as opposed to a real punt.
Yeah.
Yes,
No.
The T went missing. It is a fake punt, not a fake pun.
Yeah.
All right. So if it's an offensive thing, we need to decide that right now, like a flea flicker, somebody other than a quarterback throwing a pass.
I would say someone other than
What
a
about
quarterback.
some type of hook and ladder type deal?
Sure.
In a non-end of game situation.
Yes.
Yeah, like not just to end the half or end the game.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
3.
Successfully. Now, so if they do like a flea flicker and then complete a pass for 1 yard, is that successful?
I think we may have to go by success rate.
You want to bring in an expected points added based metric to this stupid game. All right, so
I
said
say,
3.
I
all right,
say
that's fine. No, that's fine. If it's an offensive play, we go by success rate. If it's special teams, I mean, it's obvious. If you do a fake punt but you don't pick up the first down, it doesn't count.
right.
Okay.
3 for Zach. I'll say 4.
The true media guys like email. We noticed you guys are running this weird sort of database search here. Is there anything we can help you with? No, I want no part of this.
All right.
5.
Hold. Oh,
Zach spreading his seed on this week.
Zach, the chat wants to know if you.
What's the matter with you?
The chat wants to know if you learned anything in Vegas. I'm just gonna ignore.
No, I did not. But I've been tinkering. Well, yeah, I learned a lot in Vegas. I learned a lot, but not specifically about this game. I've been trying to think of different ways to do it, and whether I've tried to study Sheil's strategy here. Sometimes
Zach's spending his whole Monday like watching the tape of how Sheil's been doing this.
I don't even know what he's talking about. Oh, about Swooper Soarcasting?
Yeah.
Well, first I thought they were asking about blackjack. I'm like,
No. Like he's getting so involved in Swooper,
All right.
so everyone was like, "What did
No,
Zach
so
do in
actually,
Vegas?"
so somebody, I'm sorry I don't have it offhand. I will look it up. Someone sent me a Twitter DM who suggested that I don't start at 1, that I start at a higher up number, and I actually like that strategy. So I've been trying to incorporate that a bit. Number 1, number 2, I've been
So earnest.
thinking about like diversifying, but not the week that I really caught myself in trouble. I was like, all right, I want to get a few good bets, but those bets don't always hit. So I think it makes sense to. Well, I don't want to give away a strategy.
Zach, we've been telling you this for a year and a half.
Yeah. So I'm trying to not go deep, like be a mile wide and an inch deep, so to speak. So.
I just love that the sickos are DMing you guys about strategies for this game. I think that just is pretty awesome. Great group of listeners for sure. All right.
We're at 5 right now.
Yes, Zach is at 5. Bo, Sheil said he's out.
Yeah, you can have it.
All right.
How many more left do we have?
We have
6.
Oh.
Yep. All right.
Zach's got 16 left. You've got 18 left. Sheil, I've got 23 left.
Okay. Gardner Minshew is on the field for at least one offensive snap. We got one of you guys submitted this one, but there was also a lot of comments in the chat about this one. Everyone wants to see Gardner Minshew out there.
Oh.
2.
So this is only injury related because I don't think Jalen gets benched this week.
What about blowout related?
Oh, that could be interesting too.
What'd you
3.
bid? 3. I'll go 4.
Going once. Going twice.
5.
Oh, this guy, the instinct, the guts, the cojones.
All right.
He's
Anyone-
pulling out all the stops trying to get that first win.
I'm out. I can't.
Well, first
like
full
Campbell.
win. First
Yeah.
full win. First full win. I do have a third of a win.
All right, Zach, you got it.
Sold. All right. I like this one a lot. This is a silly one, but I like it. A player's equipment, cleat, helmet, towel, or glove accidentally falls off during a play.
This is gonna be hard to scan. Like, there's a lot going on.
But
in the
helmets
field.
come off all the time, right?
And
Two.
shoes have been coming off.
Not
Cleats
all
have
the
been coming
time,
off
but
a lot, I
sometimes.
feel like.
All right, so
4.
if a player loses a helmet while he's playing, it counts.
4.
Or a cleat.
But it has to happen. Now it says during a play. So
Like the equipment needs to fall off as a result of the play. It can't
And it has
just be
to
like,
be, and it has to be accidental. It can't be a player taking off their helmet.
yeah,
Okay.
Okay.
All
or
right.
fixing their shoe.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay. 5. This is a good one, by the way. Whoever came up.
I can't believe you think this is a good one.
What are you talking about? It gives you something to look for this
Well-
Garbanzo Beans game.
That's exactly what I thought. Someone from the chat submitted this one, and I thought this would be a very fun watching. You know, this game might not be the most
Yeah.
entertaining thing, but kind of like when the flag hit, who was it during the Bucks
Rager,
game?
yeah.
Yeah, like the chat, everyone was going nuts on Twitter.
Right.
So trying to give the listeners something to watch. So
You have it at 5 right now, Sheil?
Yeah.
I'm out.
You can have it.
sold to
All
Sheil.
right.
Okay. The Eagles score a season high over 32.
3.
4.
5.
6.
Boy, Jack Stoll really got you guys believing in this team, huh?
So I hear 7.
7.
Going once. Going twice. Sold to Zeberb for 7. Wow, Zach's got a lot this week.
Sure does.
And you'll have a lot of turkeys left over. Correct.
You have 4 turkeys left over.
Flexing on us now, too. Unbelievable.
Well, we still have 3 left, too.
Wait, I have
Okay.
only 4 turkeys left over?
Correct.
Okay.
What do you want me to tell you?
My number, all right, my numbers here are wrong.
You went
but
from
okay.
38 to 34 to 28 to 21 to 16 to 11 to 4.
Got it. Okay. Okay.
All right. St. Joe's Prep is mentioned on the broadcast.
Bo does not like this one. That was such his voice.
I
Well,
mean,
yeah, because I'm not going to listen to the
can't
broadcast.
get a shout out?
It's a terrible broadcast. Like-
Jeez. Who's broadcasting
It's
it?
the same one
Vilma.
as last week. Vilma and whatever.
Oh.
Kenny
One.
Albert. Yeah.
Bo, somebody will point this out. This is not like making your life a hardship.
I know, but I've been saving turkeys. I wanted something interesting. I
Oh.
want like, St. Joe's.
Well, we
Prep.
still- we still have 2 more after this.
Freaking one.
Zeberb submitted this one.
Yeah.
Right.
I thought this was a clever one. I apologize. Bo's face of that was like the audacity of this. We've had
Equipment falling off.
the most nonsensical ones. Here's
Yeah.
here's a local high school for the starting running back of the other team, and Bo's like the audacity to put this one in Swooper Soarcasting. Like this is like Bo's 87 for the Eagles. Like this is a bridge too far.
All right, what are we at?
I said 1.
Oh, you bid on it. You hated it so much. 2.
So I hear 3.
3.
Not taking this. You go ahead. It's yours. Terrible.
Yeah, great.
Zach, you're not in on it?
No, I'm not. I've
All right.
been a little too aggressive actually. So
Okay. An Eagle will score his first touchdown of the season.
Oh,
4.
jeez. Is this the last one?
No, there's one
No,
after
there's
this.
one more after.
5.
6.
Who are the candidates? I have no idea.
I will tell you some candidates
Jack
here.
Stoll.
That's true.
Some of the candidates include not Jalen.
Boston Scott.
No, Boston Scott hasn't. He scored last week.
No.
Greg
bad.
Ward is a candidate. Jordan Howard is a sneaky candidate. If he gets
Jordan
upgraded.
Howard's on the team.
He's on practice squad, and he could get called up. You could
Does
have.
Quez have a touchdown?
No, he does not actually.
Yeah.
Oh. All right. What are we at? And then, of course, defensive player.
I think I have it at 6. I said 4. You said 5. I said 6.
7.
I'll go 8.
9.
10.
11.
Wow.
Oh, by the way, Greg Ward is 2 touchdowns, so I'm sorry. Greg Ward does not count. Jack Stoll counts. Jordan Howard counts. Quez Watkins counts. If they promote Richard Rodgers.
Oh, man. My roster sucks this week.
I'm at 11.
But if Zach wins, that's fine, because as long as you don't win.
Bo, you want in on this?
Just do the going once, going twice.
No,
Going
you got it.
once, going twice, sold to Sheil for 11. All right, last one. The Eagles scored 0 points in the second quarter.
2.
4. It's mine. I got it.
All right. Interesting week of Swooper.
All right.
I wouldn't go that far.
Yeah, that's probably a stretch. Okay.
I don't know. Zach has a lot.
I've got 16 left over. I have Goff has at 85% completion percentage or better. Maybe he'll complete his first pass and then get injured. That'd be good. St. Joe's Prep is mentioned, and 0 points in the second quarter for the Birds. Sheil has 2 turkeys left over. He has 3 things. DeAndre Swift has a 20-plus yard reception. There's an equipment fail, and an Eagle scores his first touchdown of the season. And Zach, being as aggressive as we've ever seen him before in Swooper Soarcasting. He went to the tape. He said, you know what? I'm playing like Jonathan Gannon's defense. I need to come out. I need to change things up. I need to confuse the opposition. And he did that by being very aggressive. He has Avonte Maddox has an interception, fumble recovery, or forced fumble. He has a running back, leads the game in receiving yards. He has Halapula Vati surrenders a sack. He has a trick play. He has Gardner Minshew takes a snap, and the Eagles score a season high in points, which would be 32 points or more. It's a good roster, Zach. The Vegas has you as a very heavy favorite to come away with a win this week. Nicely done.
Just to point out, the chat also did mention that Minshew could score a touchdown.
He could.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, that'd be good.
In which case, I would get a point.
Yes, that's true.
Yes.
No, not necessarily, actually. What if he scores?
Because it might not be
on
offense.
special teams. Yeah.
That's true.
All right.
Okay. Crystal ball, Deagle.
I'll go first. Then I got to go potty.
We like to potty.
I was thinking about this game. I've just been very annoyed and fed up by this team. I thought before last week they would win 1 of 2 against the Raiders or the Lions. But I really don't see a lot of differences between the Detroit Lions and the Philadelphia Eagles right now, despite the 0-7 record versus the 2-5 record. If anything, I see a Lions team that's a little hungrier, that does stuff in game, that's more aggressive to try to win some of these games. I see a bad matchup for the Eagles defense in that Jared Goff just wants to check it down anyway, and that's what you're going to let him do, I think, most likely. And so I've settled on this being rock bottom for the Philadelphia Eagles. I think the Lions get their first win of the season. I've got Lions 26, Eagles 23.
Nice.
I don't
I'm
know
not
what
impressed with-
I don't know what our records are.
Yeah, we got to get that.
We can okay.
I'm not impressed with this Eagles team. I've said that. I'm not impressed
Still
with this.
walking off.
Yeah, I'm not impressed with this Lions team either.
But can we hear you? is the
Maybe I
question.
should mute him.
Yeah,
He's
probably.
going to the
No,
bathroom.
let's pipe it in. Let's.
Look, this is the last stand for the Eagles, right? If they lose this game, the lowest I've seen the Eagles. Well, I guess last year they had lows, so I shouldn't say that. But
When they talk like this.
Thanksgiving 2015 in Detroit was a low. That was, to me, that was like the end of the chip era. So, will this be a low? I don't think so. I really think this defense is better than they looked against the Raiders. I think that
Can't be worse.
the Lions just don't have the talent on offense to really threaten them. I'm not impressed with this offense. I've said the Eagles' offense is a bigger concern to me than their defense. I don't think they're going to get a season high in points, even though I mentioned that, or even though I gambled on that. The over-under in this game is 48. I actually would go under here, but I am going with the Eagles winning this game 27-13.
Whoa.
I think the defense plays better. And I think the
Stomping.
Eagles win.
27-13. 13 points allowed by the defense. What a call.
You know what? I'm going to go 20-13. I'm going down a little lower here.
Wow.
20-13. Let's take away a touchdown. Yeah.
Okay. I think there's a real chance that the Lions win this game, obviously. I don't think they're any really worse than the Eagles are necessarily. But I can't pull the trigger. This will be the last time I pick the Eagles this season. If they lose this game, I'm done. That'll just be it.
I agree. Same with me. Until the Jets, but
nope. I'll take Flacco. Coyote Flacco. I just like you said the defense can't be as bad as they were last week. I don't know if that's true, but they have to be different than they were last week, and I think they will be for the reasons we said. Like given the way the Lions play, they have to have a different defensive game plan. I think they'll be able to get a few stops at least, and I think the offense should be better too. I'm going to take the Eagles very tentatively. 24-22.
So not covering the spread, 3.5.
Yeah, why not?
Okay.
Feels like a silly thing to do, but that's what I'm going to do. All right. Well, what a ride it's been. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. We will be with you with a post-game pod on Sunday night from the D for Marissa and Sheil and Zach. I'm both. Thanks for listening. Thanks to everybody for joining us live in the chat. Make sure you subscribe to The Athletic, theathletic.com/birdswithfriends. Make sure you follow Sheil on TikTok. And
I am going to start a TikTok, I decided, by the way.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
What about an OnlyFans?
No. Let's go. See ya.
You keep it as an option. Okay. Well, for everybody, as always, we love you.